In this video, I'll discuss the Lord of Darkness, aka the Great Other, and who his champion is in this series, so stay tuned for that. Hello everyone, welcome to Ultimate Book Maniacs, your one-stop for book and TV series reviews. I've already discussed all the gods of Westeros in my previous videos. In those videos, I said that all the gods will contribute by providing a champion to fight for them in the Great War. But who are they fighting? I'm going to discuss that in this video. I'll post another video next Saturday at 7 PM IST or at 9:30 AM EST. So make sure to subscribe this channel and also click on the bell icon to get notifications from my channel. You can also help my channel grow by joining me on Patreon at patreon.com/ultimatebookmaniacs. And I want to thank you Aaron Arguelles for contributing to my channel. In most of the religions, there are two common principles: good and evil, black and white, angel and demons, God and the devil, etc. Similarly, in the faith of R'hllor, its followers believe that there are only two gods.
Except and speak of 7 gods, there are but 2. The god of light and love and joy.
The Lord of Light, who is the god of light, heat and life.
And the god of darkness, evil and fear, eternally at war.
And the Lord of Darkness, aka the Great Other, who is the god of ice and death. Moqorro has said to Victorian Greyjoy in the books, "There are no gods but R'hllor and the Other, whose name may not be said." R'hllor is also called the Lord of Light, the Heart of Fire, the God of Flame and Shadow, and the Great Other, whose name may not be spoken, is also called the Lord of Darkness, the Soul of Ice, and the God of Night and Terror. The House of Black and White's wooden door is half weirwood and half ebony. Half is white and half is dark. Could this also refer to the belief of the Lord of Light and the Lord of Darkness? Whether it's north or south, in the 7 kingdoms, almost all the kids are raised praising either the old gods or the new gods, and they are raised fearing the others, aka the White Walkers coming to claim them if they misbehave. They are also used in many curses, like "may the others take them," etc. So just like our modern culture, the others play the role of the devil here. Even Melisandre is afraid of the Lord of Darkness. The reason they are afraid to say his name is because they believe that saying his name will draw his eyes upon them. Kind of like saying Voldemort in Harry Potter. By the way, I finally figured out who the Lord of Darkness or the Dark God is and how he was created. Remember who else was called Dark and whose name must not be spoken? Yes, the Dark Lord, aka Voldemort. When Harry killed Voldemort, he became the Great Other. I know, my jokes are terrible. Anyways, in the books, Melisandre has said to Mance Rayder before his execution, "We all must choose, man or woman, young or old, lord or peasant. Our choices are the same. We choose light or we choose darkness." R'hllor's followers also believe that these two gods are locked in an eternal struggle over the fate of the world. And according to the prophecies from the books of Ashai, this struggle will only end when Azor Ahai will return with Lightbringer and will raise dragons from the stone.
Man once again faces the war for the dawn. On one side is the Lord of Light, the Heart of Fire, God of Flame and Shadow. Against him stands the Great Other, whose name may not be spoken. The Lord of Darkness, Soul of Ice, God of Night and Terror. According to prophecy, our champion will be reborn.
Which means they believe that the others will return and Azor Ahai will be reborn to lead the light. I've already discussed some of this in my Lord of Light and his champion video. I'll read the prophecy from the books. There will come a day after a long summer when the stars bleed and the cold of darkness falls heavy on the world. In this dread hour, a warrior shall draw from the fire a burning sword, and that sword shall be Lightbringer, the red sword of heroes. And he who clasps it shall be Azor Ahai come again, and the darkness shall flee before him. Melisandre also says to Davos, "These little wars are no more than a scuffle of children before what is to come. The one whose name may not be spoken is marshalling his power Davos Seaworth, a power fell and evil and strong beyond measure. Soon comes the cold and the night that never ends, unless true men find the courage to fight it, men whose hearts are fire."
Imagine a night that goes on forever, so dark and full of terrors.
She also says, "When the red star bleeds and the darkness gathers, Azor Ahai shall be born again amidst smoke and salt to wake dragons out of stone." As you can see, half of the prophecy has already come true. The others have returned. We first saw the White Walkers in the beginning of this series when they killed Sir Waymar Royce and Will. The dragons are born again. In the Lord of Light's Histories and Lores video, Thoros of Myr says that the Lord of Light is real, and if he is real, then all of it is real.
The Lord of Light is real, and if he's real, then all of it is real.
And I must admit, he has a point. We have all seen the powers of the Lord of Light. He not only resurrected Beric Dondarrion, but he also resurrected Lady Stoneheart in the books and Jon Snow in the show. And in the books, Melisandre has more powers than in the show. She kills Orell's eagle with fire. R'hllor was also behind the deaths of Joffrey, Robb and Balon Greyjoy because Stannis and Melisandre burned those leeches in the fire and said their names, and he somehow made it happen. As for who the Great Other's champion is in this series, I think it's pretty obvious. In the show, it's the Night King. In the books, we haven't seen the Night King yet, but I still believe that the Night King or some leader of the White Walkers will show up in the Winds of Winter. The other options could be Jaime or Bran. In the books, Jaime dreams about seeing the dead, and he wields a sword burning with blue fire. And the three-eyed raven tells Bran that the darkness will protect him. But it's not enough proof to think that they will be the Great Other's champions. That's why I believe that it's the Night King. And how did it all begin? Melisandre believes that the others, aka the White Walkers, are the cold children of the Great Other. But how did the others were created in the first place? I know the children of the forest were trying to create a perfect soldier like Benjen Stark or Cold Hands, but how did it all go wrong? And how did they become the creatures of cold? I've already explained my theory on what might have happened in my Night King's Magic Explained video. In that video, I said when the children were giving him their powers, the Night King took way more than they had intended to give him. But how can a normal human do that on his own? In the books, Melisandre thinks that the White Walkers are the champion of the others. I think the Lord of Darkness helped the Night King take more than he needed. And how did he do that? I'll discuss that in the end. He created his own champion, aka the first White Walker or the Night King, using the children's magic. And as I had said in my What Woke the White Walkers and my Craster's Sons theory videos, I think the Night King was creating his own army by killing any living thing he came across, just like Old Nan used to tell in her stories. As Melisandre thinks in the books, death is his domain and the dead his soldiers. He was also waiting for the long summer to end. I believe that for some time, the Great Other was weaker. In the show, Varys tells Tyrion that when the sorcerer threw his parts in the flames, it turned blue, and a voice answered, "Yet, I still dream of that night, my lord, not of the sorcerer, nor his blade, nor even the way my manhood shriveled as it burned. I dreamed of the voice from the flames. Was it a god? A demon? Some conjurer's trick? I could not tell you, and I know all the tricks.
He burned my parts in a brazier. The flames turned blue, and I heard a voice answer his call. I still dream of that night. Not of the sorcerer, not of his blade. I dream of the voice from the flames. Was it a god, a demon, a conjurer's trick? I don't know. But the sorcerer called, and a voice answered.
In my VARVS'S vision in the fire video, I said it was Rolor, but the more I think about it, I think it might have been the Great Other. What if VARVS'S ritual awoke the Great Other, or rather made him more powerful? It was blood magic, and blood magic is considered the darkest and the most powerful type of magic. AZHOR used blood magic to create Lightbringer. Similarly, Dany used blood magic to hatch the dragon eggs. Magic had started fading from the world when the last dragons have died, and it started coming back when Dany's dragons were born. I have a feeling that it's all connected somehow. I'll explain it in detail in a separate video. So I think that the Great Other was weak until some ritual gave him power. And after that, he still couldn't do much until the Night King has gathered his army. Maybe that's when he sent the White Walkers to make a deal with Craster. Just like Rolor, I believe the Great Other also had some power left. I think it was the Great Other's powers which kept the lands of Always Winter permanently locked in winter and in a perpetually frozen state. But as I had said in my What Woke the White Walkers video, the long night will come again after the longest summer, and this summer was the longest of all, lasting 9 years. And now that winter has arrived in Westeros, I believe that the Great Other is more powerful now, which is another reason why the Night King decided to invade Westeros now. I believe that in Season 8, the Lord of Darkness's champion will face not only the Lord of Light's champion, but he will also have to face the old gods, the many-faced gods, and the new gods champions as well. I've also said in my Who is the Prince That Was Promised and AZHOR video that the 3 heads of the dragons, aka the 3 saviors, will play an important role in the Great War. Just like the prophecies say, AZHOR Reborn will lead the War for Dawn against the Night King, and I believe that one of them will be defeated for good. Neither can live while the other survives. It looks like we have a lot more in common with Harry Potter than just its cast. What do you think? Anyways, it's time for the comment shout out now. Today's comment shout out goes to Sean Kilaki, who said, "These symbols are not in the books, but could George R.R. Martin and David and Dan be adding meaning in the show with these symbols? Seems probable because the signs are repetitive." I completely agree with you, Sean. They won't give so much importance to the symbols unless they are really important. Joe Figueroa has asked, "Can you do a video on the Night King and what do you think the symbols are about?" Maybe just like the Red Priest, the White Walkers also sacrifice people to the Great Other. Dany also formed a symbol with a pyre, and the dragons were born fulfilling the prophecy. I think these symbols may be letters from the True Tongue. The True Tongue is the language of the children of the forest. What if the children meant to do a ritual for the old gods, but instead it somehow empowered the Great Other? Kind of like a wrong call. It was meant for the old gods, but the Great Other picked it up. What if this is what awakened the Great Other? The ritual somehow became a sort of sacrifice when Leaf inserted the dragon glass through that first man's heart. I'm going to discuss these symbols in detail in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. So, what do you think of these theories? Don't forget to tell us in the comments. If you like this video, please click on the like button below, share the video and subscribe to this channel. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you in my next video.